What going into this last game, I guess, what do you want to get out of it, and kind of how do you want to finish the season?
Just want to finish the season strong. I know I'm looking to, finish the season off strong. I know, the rest of the offense is, and just to continue to build off of last week.
With the whole offense you mentioned, how much can momentum carry over? I think you've scored like 30 or more in 3 of the last 4. Just if you guys are able to finish this year out strong, how much can that help you guys going into next?
I think it helps us out tremendously, from a confidence, standpoint, and just momentum heading into next year and during the offseason. Something we can build off of, and just really look back at the season and see where we can build. Because it's hard to go into off season and try to build, after a loss or after a season like this. So just carry as much momentum into the off season as we can.
Jen Mueller.
The success last week, maybe the success over the last few weeks, is that a result of better chemistry among players, or is that a better understanding and execution of the offense?
I think it's just a better execution as a whole team. My eyes, I think, Russ was clicking, Shane was calling the plays, the receivers and tight ends and running backs were on it. O-line, was blocking as well, and plus, Penny had 170 yards, so that really opened up the offense, for us to be able to pass the ball like we did.
Jackie Montgomery.
Hey, DK, you touched on Rashad, and you talked about him after the game, but just with him being awarded the NFC Offensive Player of the Week, just what have you seen from him this past month when he's just had this breakout kind of last few games, and have you seen anything different from him in practice?
I think a switch just flipped. I think especially having a guy like Adrian Peterson here, teaching not only the running back room, but also, a guy like myself, how to practice and, how to take the game serious. And I think, that just flipped the switch, in all of our heads and, in the way that we look at the game. And, as y'all can see, Penny has taken it to a whole nother level ever since, he got here.
You've been dealing with a foot injury. Obviously, it hasn't kept you out of the game like how injuries have kept him out, but just how happy are you for him just seeing the struggles that he has had and then seeing the success that he's having now?
Right. I don't think there's struggles. Everybody goes through, different forms of adversity, and, just to see him come out on the other side of it, and the way that he's handled everything, this season and the past, 3 years that I've been here and I've seen him, is really just amazing. Just speaks the type of person that he is.
Michael Sean Dugar.
Hey, DK, I don't know when we'll talk to you again after this, so I guess we'll ask this now. Would you like to sign an extension with Seattle this offseason?
Of course. That's always – I'm not trying to leave, but, we got the Cardinals to focus on right now, and, you can hit me up later in the offseason if you need that question answered.
Will do. I'll take you up on that. Quick follow-up, though. During the season, there's been, little rumors about where Russ wants to go, him getting traded elsewhere. Has that been a topic of discussion for you guys inside the locker room?
I stay out of grown folks' business. And I stay in my lane, and I worry about the Seahawks and performing on Sundays, during the week. So Russ is still a Seahawk, and I'm just gonna treat it as such.
Thanks.
Greg Bell.
Hello, sir. What have you learned about Shane Waldron's offense this season, and maybe what has he learned, you think, about you guys and your offense?
I think we learned it was a different type of offense than Shotty's offense. A lot of moving parts, a lot of motions, and it gave us a different look. This season. Just like the first year of everything, we're still working out the kinks. I think we've gotten most of those hammered down, and Shane has really learned a lot about Russ, myself, Tyler. He's spreading the ball around to many different players this past game. So I think he's figured out the ingredients, and I think we're just going to continue to build on that. Because
it was so new and different, do you think it took a little longer than maybe when your first year in the league here?
Yes, sir. It's a new team, a new offense. When I got here, Shotty was here for already, a year. So I was really just, hopping in where I fit in. But, bringing a whole new system to, 11 different players is I will say, is very challenging. So, just the ground that we made up during the season and, not falling apart completely, but, keeping our composure and continuing to compete and, fight every game is is something that speaks volumes, not about just Shane, but about this team. So I mean, we're going to continue to fight, and you're going to see a fight Sunday.
Bob?
Bob, you're a little frozen there.
Bob, you look frozen. Well, Bob's working on that. We'll go to Art.
DK, besides a return to full health, what do you want to see in your game improve on the most in the offseason heading into fall?
Not thinking about that right now. I'm taking this a day at a time. I'm not thinking about, the offseason just yet, or I'm going to take, probably a month's rest and, try to recover to 100% before I figure out what I need to focus on.
Corbin?
Hey, DK, going back to the way that Rashaad's been playing, with this being an extended run of 4 games where he's leading the league in rushing, have you seen a change in how defenses are covering you in terms of coverages over the last 3 or 4 games because of that run game being so much better?
Right. We're seeing, mainly a lot more one high, than we have in the past, since, the running game hasn't really been there for us. We've seen a lot of 2 high, which, is taking away the passing game. So, when Rashad Penny is able to, do what he does, and then you got DJ Dallas and Homer coming in there, and, backing him up, it really just puts a lot of stress on the defense to worry about the run in the pass. So, I mean, it just basically has opened us up, a lot more for, big pass plays.
Rob with the Associated Press.
I think you're muted.
Sorry about that. DK, I'm wondering, how often do you feel guys are pressured, or do you feel pressured to play through injuries, to play hurt? I'm sure at this point in the season nobody's 100% healthy, but Antonio Brown just accused the Buccaneers of forcing him, or trying to force him to play hurt, which they denied. But how often do you think that's something that comes up?
I think it comes up a lot. Dealing with this job, we have a lot of stress and a lot of pressure, like you said, to be able to suit up on Sundays. So we have to deal with not only stress and anxiety and depression with all of that, but we always have to deal with nagging injuries throughout the whole year. Plus they added an extra game, so that's just one more game where you're taking hits on your body. So I mean, it's a lot to deal with, with everything that you have to account for during the season. So I don't think it's a lot of stress, that we have to deal with. We're built to where, we can play through stuff. If you get hit, you get back up and play the next play. So, I mean, I think we're just a product of our environment that, we play through stuff like that. If you can still walk and run, then you can play. So, that's the way I was brought up, and I think that's the, mindset of every football player out there.
Bob, looks like you're up and running now.
Yeah, am I going? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Take your time.
Okay, I just wanted to ask you, you're returning to where you had your play against Buddha last year. I was just wondering if you've gotten to know him at all. Obviously, kind of maybe being here in the off season or anything like that. And if you ever talk about that play at all with him.
When I would train down in Arizona last off season, my first time ever seeing him was on the road at a red light. Crazy how I look to my left and I just see, him driving, his car, and we're both stopped at a red light. And, we both worked out at Exos, during last off season. So I've gotten to know him, Chandler Jones, Byron Murphy, Marco Wilson. I've gotten to know a lot of those guys, from training down there with him.
Brady?
Hey, DK, I got to follow up on the red light. Where was that when you saw him?
In Arizona. I can't tell you my exact location,
Sure.
but yeah, it was in Arizona.
Did you guys get out? Did you guys exchange numbers then, or something?
I'm not getting out of no car for no man at a red
Okay,
light.
fair enough.
No, I just said what's up to him. We kept it pushing.
Okay, and unrelated question to that: where do you feel like in 3 seasons your game has come the furthest?
Mentally, I'm looking at football a lot differently than I did my first year in the league. Looking at defenses, how I view the game, the business side of it, just a whole 180 perspective on how I look at the game.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.